Hello and welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Grand Arena Championships. I am Heathen13 and we are back for another season. This is season 9 and it is back to 5v5. I want to thank you all for joining me. Hopefully we have another successful season. Last season for 3v3 we went 11-1 and made Kyber for the 7th time, 7 out of 8 times. My one time I missed Kyber way back in season, I believe it was 5. It was one of the seasons where it was super hard to make Kyber and I missed it by about 500 banners. So hopefully we have a successful season. Let's see who we are matched up against today. It is Chappie. So let's take a look at how we match up. Okay, looking at the hotbot, you can see I have quite the advantage against Chappie on most of the stats here. Taking a more detailed look, you can see that he doesn't appear to play Grand Arena Championship very often. He has fairly low lifetime banners, about half mine. His offensive wins and defense, everything's really low. He either doesn't play or he just plays and sets a tough defense. He does have 128 defensive holds, which seems high relative to his other numbers, but I have a feeling he just doesn't play very often. If you look at our roster comparison, he does have a 300,000 GP advantage, and when you look at our top 80, which I believe is the number we're using for matchups for 5v5, he does have a slight advantage. But when you look at Zetas, I've got 10 more Zetas. I have a significant advantage in speed. I also have 6 more G13s than he does, even though he's got double the G12s. Mods, I have the big advantage, and relics, I also have the big advantage, although he does have the 1 tier 7 relic. Let's take a look at his roster and point out a couple things I noticed when going through there. First thing, let's talk about fleets. You can see he runs a Thrawn lead fleet in Arena with Houndstooth and Millennium Falcon. It's kind of a hodgepodge, and when we look at his actual inventory, you'll notice he does have a 5-star negotiator, but doesn't run it, it appears. No malevolence. So I went hard on fleets. I put my negotiator on defense. Looking at his fleets here, I noticed that he has only a 3-star Anakin. So I wasn't too worried about his Galactic Republic. And even looking at his Rebel squad, you can see there's no Han's Millennium Falcon here for ships. It appears that the ships he is using, that this is actually Rey's Millennium Falcon, and he's using that because they're both his Rey and his Finn are relic. So an odd ship lineup to me. Also an odd arena lineup. He's got a JTR lead with BB-8, Scav Rey, but then CLS and R2-D2. He only has 10 relic characters, and those are 5 of them, and he uses them together in Arena. When I look at the rest of his relics, he's got a relic on 5s, and then Bosk and Palpatine, and then Finn. It looks to me like he went hard for Resistance. And there you see Poe as well. He went hard for Resistance, but then just started picking random players off other teams. I'm not sure what he's doing with his roster construction. He does have most of the normal teams at Gear 12. That just kind of happens when you have a 5 million GP. But it does feel scattered. Some other weird things that I've noticed on his roster include things like giving Zetas to players who I'm not sure that it's a good investment. when we're talking about GAC matchups. Captain On Solo has a Zeta. Cody has his Zeta. Maybe that's from a long time ago. He also has like the Zeta on Grandmaster Yoda's lead. He's got a Zeta on Greedo and a Zeta on IG-88. Some of these things look to me like he hasn't really focused his roster on maximizing his matchups. Anyway, let's take a look at the board. Okay, as you can see, he's attacked, and I put kind of a light defense. I thought if Chappie was going to do anything, it would set a hard defense. So I saved a lot of my best squads for offense and set what I thought was a pretty weak defense. I set a Nuke squad with Separatists and Mission and Zalbar. I set my own JTR squad. And then this Palpatine squad with some Sith and Wampa actually got me a hold, which I was surprised about. Because his ships seemed kind of wonky and not optimized, I put my Negotiator on defense, and that seemed to work. He took 2 battles and stopped, even though I only have a 5-star Negotiator myself. And then up front, he took 1 battle against my Night Sisters and failed and stopped, and he didn't even attempt my gas. I just got gas on the last attempt, or the last go around, and he's still only 6 stars. Should be 7 by next round, but he didn't even attempt my GAC squad. So I think he's done, which sounds weird, but looking at his GAC history, I noticed he did a lot of this where he would attack once or twice, and if he wasn't doing well, he just stopped. And most of his victories actually came when he would attack once or twice and his opponent wouldn't attack at all. So let's see what he left me. All right, up top, he left his Geo squad and a Night Sister team, and then his Arena team, which is that relicked out JTR CLS combo squad. He left that up top though, and not down below. And I tend to put my best squads on the lower end to protect my back squads rather than my ships. He left me a crew team and then a bounty hunter team down low. Now, when I looked at his roster, most of the squads that I thought were his better squads are ones he's actually left me. So I'm not even sure what he left himself for offense. So I'm really assuming he's done. So let's go into the battles here. I'm going to start with my bounty hunter, or his bounty hunter squad. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Geos against it. My Geos are not great, but they should do the job, even against all of his Zetas and whatnot. So we'll just go straight in on Django. I recently remodded, so some of my speeds are not what I am used to. So some of the turn orders are taking me by surprise. And Bosk does have the double Zeta on him, so I'm going to have to just chew through Bosk here. I'm going to hold off on my heal for another round, figuring that it's going to take me a little time to chew through him, and then I have to kill Boba twice, and I don't want to heal early. I'm hoping to line it up so my last heal comes right at the end, so I can maximize banners. And this Bosk being R2. Oh, did Spy's big hit and he wasn't stealth, wasn't even looking or paying attention. It's okay. Plenty of time, just a matter of time before I chew through this Bosk. There we go. And my spy doesn't want to get in stealth, apparently. Oh, and he can't because Dengar is stealth. Duh. Okay. So I went ahead and did the big hit, healed everybody up. Just a matter of time here before Dengar goes down, and hopefully I can keep him from putting out thermals one last time and stealing a bunch of banners. I am working on my geos. I do want to get them up so they hit a little harder and a little more resilient. And for the ships, I open up my malevolence, and I do want my ships to be better as well. Looks like Dengar's gonna take another turn here, but he does have ability block on him, so hopefully all he can do is hit the brood once. And oh, and there we go with Spy's big hit. So perfect 60. It's like that is how I'd like to start out. Now, like I said before, I kept a lot for offense because I anticipated him putting most of his best squads on defense. So even though it is going to be overkill, I think I am taking my Padme squad here against his crew. And because it's overkill and I'm looking to get the feats, I'm going to go ahead and leave off Shock T and Undersize. And hopefully that's not a mistake. We're going to go ahead and get First Order Officer out of here first, because he likes to give them turn meter and stuff. Doesn't look like this is going to matter either way, because I am quite a bit over. This is quite the mismatch for me, I think. So even with just 4, I will lose some banners on protection, but a 58 and get my first undersize, which is great. And let's see what is in the back. Alright, so he's left me his Shakti clones and his own Padme. So let me make a quick plan on what I'm going to do for that, and I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I can see why he didn't do much on offense, because he basically put all his best teams on defense. We are going to go ahead and go up top and try and tackle these squads up here and get to the ships. We will go ahead and start with his arena team, and I will take my arena team against him. I'm just going to go in full blast with this, because I've never faced a weird kind of hybrid JTR CLS team before. I don't anticipate it being a problem because of my arena team's decent, and generally speaking, I think a Darth Revan team is going to take out any kind of weird hodgepodge team like this. And there we go. Quick work of it for a 59. It's what I like to see. Next thing we're going to do is take on his mother Talzin, his Night Sisters. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and give my crew team a shot. I've never done this, but I did unlock Watt. You can see he's only 4 stars, low gear, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot because I've wanted to do this counter ever since I've seen it. I don't even know his abilities, so bear with me a minute while I look through all his things. So this one is the med pack, And this one is the shield generator. So this is the tank one. This is the one I want to put on crew. And this one is the weapons one. Okay, so I'm going to put this on crew. And then I'm going to go ahead and give this right back to Watt. And I'm going to put this one on Fox. And then I'm just going to go to work. And hopefully that's it. I'll go through and I'll stun Talzin so you can't get plague out there, which is really the only concern I have. This is pretty much every YouTuber's favorite counter from what I can tell. And I've never had Watt, so I can never do it. I am a little concerned just at how fragile my officer and my Fox are. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on my officer just to try and keep him alive. I definitely do need to take some time and invest into First Order. I am working on it for Supreme Leader Kylo, but it's gonna feel like I have a lot of projects, so they'll get there. Okay, so you see I was able to take out Daka with First Order Executioner, so he won't revive. Same thing with Talzin. So far so good. And OG Kylo will just keep getting turn meter and keep sending stuff over to Executioner. There we go with Ventress. I am loving this. And I don't want to kill unless it's with Executioner. There we go. So this worked out as well as it possibly can. Watt is going to end without protection or health, but he lived, which is surprising. And there we go, a 58, very clean, and was able to use crew against his Night Sisters. So that worked out flawlessly. Super happy with that. Okay, now I'm going to do something a little different for his Geos. And that something a little different is going to be that I'm going to take Trail like I normally would, but there's a feat currently for using Lando and Lobot. So I'm just going to sacrifice Lando and Lobot to die. I think my Lobot here, is level 1, gear 1. So they'll just die, and that's okay. I'll lose banners on that. I'm going to win this match anyway. In order to get this feat done, and hopefully the rest of my trio here will be enough to take out his Geos. I actually remodded recently, and like I said, and I've remodded my Scion and my Traya to be tankier than they had been in the past. You can see I've already got Annihilate up, so I'll take out Brood, and hey, I've even got a attack off there with Lando, a timely Hell by Hatred. I guess I want to get Poggle out of here next. I'm expecting either Lando or Lobot to die, but I guess if Scion just keeps taunting, that they could live. That would be incredible. Not counting on it here, even with only one of their guys left, but you never know. Okay, that was incredible. Both of them survived. I cannot believe that. So that was fantastic. And what kind of ship did he leave me? He left me his arena team. You can see the arena power is crazy high, 508. In order to maximize my banners, I think I'm going to take my Millennium Falcon fleet against him. Try and maximize banners, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in even my the Rebel Y-Wing, which I was able to unlock. I don't know if that's a good or bad idea. Probably a bad idea. I will take the full team against him, though. And I'll use Poe as my last reinforcement there. My Malevolence is only 5-star, so I am a little concerned about losing out stars on that. Or rather, losing out on banners. But I'm not worried. I mean, I'm looking at his squad, and even though they're high relic and whatnot, I get to put my shield disruptor right there on Houndstooth right away and just blast through it. So there's that. And I'm not super concerned about his other squads here, his other teams. Honestly, I'm not even sure what to think of this fleet that he's put up there. He's obviously uses it a lot in arena, but I have a feeling that it's okay on offense, but I have a hard time imagining it holds much on defense. It's just such a hodgepodge of ships. There's not a huge synergy. It's kind of, wait for a big hit from Thrawn's capital ship and just, I honestly don't know. I don't understand it. Seems to me like he'd be better served just going with his kind of under-geared negotiator squad. Not having Han's Millennium Falcon also seems kind of odd at this point with his roster, but 65 is fantastic. I will take that in ships every time. And I just have 2 battles left here. And we've got his Shaak Ti clones and his Padme. So I have my CLS squad and my Jedi Knight Revan squads left. So I will go ahead and do that. I've got my old school traditional CLS squad. I actually used to run this in arena like a year ago. So super comfortable with this comp. Hopefully I'm able to get in here and take out Shaak Ti right away. There we go. And then I'm going to head everybody other than R2. Get 5s down so we don't make super clones. Get the burning on the field. Didn't work because of Rex's tenacity up, but that's okay. And my blast from the past here went ahead and took them out. I suppose I could have gone undersized on this as well. I was a little concerned because these are still strong teams. He didn't leave me really any weak teams to speak of. He does have this Padme. Maybe I go undersized with my Jedi Knight Revan and I leave off Old Ben. That is a consideration. Or maybe I actually take out Old Ben. I put in Thrawn. Or I put in Shaak Ti. Yeah, let's go ahead and put in Shaak Ti. I think I could undersize it. Why don't we undersize it? It just makes more sense. even if I do poorly here a little bit, or even if I fail it, I have other teams that I can go in there and clean up with, and this gets me one step closer to the undersized feat. So we'll go ahead and mark up Padme, and then we'll do single unassisted attacks. Oh, and Padme's already gone, so that went quick. Go ahead and stun Jedi Knight, stun General Kenobi, and since Padme's gone, I'm not worried about their extra defense, so I'll go ahead and start assisting here, and we'll get down Anakin, and then we'll work on getting through Kenobi, and Grandmaster Yoda will be next. So yeah, I'm gonna lose some banners from lost protection and whatnot. Call Jolie here. Use Jolie rather to call Bastila. It looks like Revan is missing a little protection. So see if I can get him to get assisted. There we go. Well, 60 is great. I lost protection, it looks like, on Jolene at the end, but had the undersize. So that GAC went pretty smooth. Dropped a couple banners here and there, but got 2 undersized kills in, along with getting that Lando feat done. 1926, definitely a decent score for me. A nice way to start the new season. Thank you, Chappie, for setting a tough defense. That was a nice way to start. Good way to evaluate what I had kept on offense and defense, so I can make adjustments next round. I want to thank everybody for watching and joining me again for another season of GAC, and I will see you next round.